Christopher Maurice Brown, known all around the world by his stage name of Chris Brown, is a very successful and famous personality. Brown was born in Tappahannock, Virginia, United States, on 5th of May, 1989. He has been raised in Virginia, though his birthplace was a very small town. His father used to work as a correction officer in a local prison, and his mother used to work in a daycare. However, Chris Brown has an older sister as well, who is currently in a bank. His family was quite religious, and Brown used to go to church every day. He wore more church clothes than school dress. He also used to imitate various R&B singers from a young age. Brown never let the music get away from him, and he also taught dance himself. Chris Brown early life. Brown was born in Tappahannock, Virginia on May 5, 1989, to Joyce Hawkins, a daycare center director, and Clinton Brown, a corrections officer. He has one older sister, Littrell Bundy. His parents divorced when he was young, and his mother became a victim of domestic violence by her new boyfriend. Chris taught himself to sing and dance growing up, watching his idols Usher, Michael Jackson. Chris has also cited his parents' collection of soul records as a major musical influence in his early years. Chris Brown, career. With his mother's help, Chris sought a recording contract in his early teens and eventually moved to New York to find representation. He recorded his debut album, Chris Brown, at the age of 16. His single, Run It, was popular enough to make Brown the first male artist to debut at #1 on the Billboard charts since Montel Jordan in 1995. In 2007, Brown released his second album, Exclusive, which debuted at #4 on the Billboard charts. Exclusive also spawned his second hot #1 hit on the Billboard charts, Kiss Kiss. Chris released his third album, Graffiti, in 2009. He released the album FAME in 2011, which became his first album to top the Billboard 200. The album also earned him a Grammy Award for Best R&B Album. His fifth album, Fortune, was released in 2012, once again topping the Billboard 200. Brown released X, also in 2012, a collaboration album called Fan of a Fan. The album in 2015, Royalty, also in 2015, and Heartbreak on a Full Moon in 2017. Brown's ninth studio album, Indigo, came out in 2019, and it became his third #1 album to debut on the Billboard 200. Brown has toured to support all of his albums. He was the opening act for Beyoncé Knowles on portions of her The Beyoncé Experience tour and supported Rihanna on her Good Girl Gone Bad tour. To date, he has sold more than 100 million albums and singles worldwide. Chris Brown is one of the world's best-selling artists. He has won a Grammy, 15 Betty Awards, 4 Billboard Music Awards, and 6 Soul Train Music Awards. Acting career. In January 2007, Brown made his acting debut in the film Stomp the Yard. He also played a small guest starring role in the television series The O.C. Later that year, he appeared in the film This Christmas. He also appeared in the films Takers, Think Like a Man, and Battle of the Year, as well as the TV show Blackish. Chris Brown, educational background. Chris Brown is a legend in the music industry, but his education profile doesn't have too much to offer. Brown has gone to Essex High School, where he studied for a few years only. He dropped from his school to pursue a career in singing and dancing. He soon became a massive figure in the world. Chris Brown controversies, Rihanna assault. On February 8, 2009, Brown was arrested and charged with making criminal threats against his then-girlfriend, R&B singer Rihanna. The two had an argument which had escalated to physical assault and left Rihanna with injuries that required hospital attention. After his arrest, several commercials and TV shows featuring him were suspended, and he withdrew from public appearances. However, he was sentenced to 1 year of domestic violence counseling, 6 months of community service, 5 years of probation, and a 5-year restraining order from Rihanna. A month later, he was charged with felony assault. He pleaded guilty in June 2009. The next year, Brown's applied for a visa to enter the UK to do a tour of British cities, but was denied on account of being guilty of a serious criminal offense. On March 11th, Brown became violent in his dressing room on a commercial break after he was interviewed by Robin Roberts of Good Morning America and was asked about the restraining order and the Rihanna situation. He threw an object through a window that overlooked Times Square, then stormed out of the building shirtless. Brown's probation ended formally on March 20th, 2015. Other legal issues. Chris has been involved in scuffles and altercations with Drake, Tony Parker, and Frank Ocean. In July 2013, Brown was charged with an alleged hit-and-run in LA. The charges were later dropped, but he had 1,000 additional community service hours added to probation. Brown was arrested in Washington, D.C. in October 2013 for felony assault after refusing to take a photo with two men. Brown was released after 36 hours in a Washington jail and voluntarily checked into a rehab facility. After he completed 90 days, a judge ordered him to remain until April 23, 2014. On March 14, 2014, Brown was kicked out of the rehab center for rule violation and sent to Northern Neck Regional Jail. At his May 9, 2014 court date, he was sentenced to 131 days in jail, but was given credit for time already spent in rehab and jail. Brown was released on June 2, 2014 due to overcrowding. More so, Chris Brown is prohibited from possessing a firearm due to his previous felony assault conviction. On August 30, 2016, a call was made to the police from a woman who claimed that Brown had threatened her with a gun in his house. Brown refused entry to the cops when they showed up, and a standoff ensued that provoked the action from the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division and the SWAT team. He was arrested, and charges were later dropped. Chris Brown marital status. Brown dated model Karrueche Tran. They parted ways in 2015, and Tran was granted a 5-year restraining order against Brown, claiming he threatened to kill her. Brown has 2 children. Chris Brown endorsement deals businesses. Chris has stated in several interviews that he owns 14 Burger King restaurants. In 2012, he launched a clothing line called Black Pyramid. Since 2007, he has operated a record label under Interscope called CBE, Chris Brown Entertainment. Chris Brown properties, houses, and cars. Since 2014, Chris's primary residence has been a 4-bedroom hilltop mansion in Tarzana, California. He bought the home, which has an 8,000 square foot home on 0.75 acres, for $4.35 million. From 2011 to 2015, he lived in the Hollywood Hills in a hillside home that cost $1.5 million. He vacated this home after getting into a war with neighbors over the graffiti he added to the mansion exteriors. He previously lived in a condo in West Hollywood, which he bought in 2. He was essentially kicked out of this condo by the Homeowners Association for excessive noise and allegedly having hallway dog races. He also frequently parked his cars in the building's handicap spots. He sold this property for $1.6 million, roughly what he paid in 2011. Chris Brown net worth. Chris Brown net worth is estimated to be $60 million. In conclusion, Chris Brown's life is a fascinating mix of success, luxury, controversies, and talent. His journey from a young, aspiring artist to a global superstar is nothing short of remarkable. Regardless of the ups and downs, Chris Brown remains a prominent figure in the world of music and entertainment. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more celebrity profiles like this one.